4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Crystal Carmen, and I am a beautypreneur as well as a marketing strategist for beauty businesses. And I am here with a gorgeous woman, as you see, looking like Jessica Rabbit, giving me all the Jessica Rabbit vibes. She is a beauty mogul and is the owner of of Dollhouse of Glam. And she's also a model because she's being very modest. She's also a beautiful model. She's also a digital content creator. She's also been out here on these Facebook streets helping women like you monetize their content. So I've been watching her from the sidelines and just taking a look of everything that she's doing. So not only is she making money, but helping other women make money. And you know that I have to big up Stat here on my platform. So that being said, what is the topic? Like, what are we out about? So a misnomer about beautiful boss babes is that we don't think about dating, but we really do. And dating out here is totally different than it is for your traditional 9 to 5ers. And it's not because, oh, I'm better than them or anything like that, but just because we have different like schedules, different needs, and different priorities. And sometimes that can be very difficult for a partner to work with. So, Katrina is single, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
She's single and beautiful in the what? Where are you located?
Located in Virginia.
So she is single and beautiful and successful in Virginia. What part of Virginia are you from?
I am actually located now. I'm residing in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Okay, so you guys hear that. So you know where she's from. She's located in Virginia. So I know you're going to blush, but I'm just keeping it real. This is a woman who has really beat the odds, right? Has gone into an industry that people fail at thousands and thousands of times. She's made a success story out of herself. She has continued to believe in herself, and she has been able to provide for herself for a long time. She has a brand that is beautiful and both aesthetically pleasing. As you can see, she has some beautiful like eyeshadow on right now that's all bedazzled and bejammed. And so this is someone who is both talented and also charismatic and just really has a vibe of wanting to help people grow and be successful as well. And so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and you please be honest with us because let's be real, like the audience needs to know like what it is like. So as a business professional, I also find that dating is kind of tricky. So first, have you ever been married?
No, never.
Okay, so you've never been married. Do you have children?
Oh, I
No children.
do. I have 3.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I have 3.
Awesome. Okay. So you are a single, available woman who has children. It really isn't, I don't really like to quantify it because I feel like if you have kids, you have kids, right? So it's what it is. But you have 3 children. You're a beautiful, intelligent woman who's in Virginia doing things for herself. Tell me some of the pain points you have when you come across with dating. Like, what are some things that you feel like are a little tricky to deal with?
Well, a lot of guys feel like having children is like a deal breaker. Oh, how active the other parent is. So it's that situation which I don't have that problem. I have a very supportive father of my children are with the same, same man. So I don't have those issues. I'm supportive. He's supportive of mine. So I don't have those issues. But people, I have, you know, that it's going to be I've been single for a long time, and people are own a business, and I am a brand ambassador. I've been on multiple TV shows, dated, and I'm like, I'm still a regular person. Like, I love doing regular things. Like, I $1 billion things. Just let me be.
Okay. No, and that's great. So yeah, so of course, like we were gonna unfold this as we go along. But Katrina has been on very popular TV shows, and so she is a celebrity by her own rights. And so one of the things that I think you're saying is like you're like, hey, I'm just a normal person, but let's not minimize the fact that you have been essentially a public figure. Do you feel that you having like a fan base and being in the public eye has intimidated men?
I think it has hurt my date because, like I said, guys are about the fact that I'm popular and other guys find me attractive, or I and I can't control if someone finds me attractive, or my fan base is more male than it is female, but hey, it's kind of what comes with it. But issues where I'm an open book. Like if I'm not happy, I'm gonna let you know. It's kind of a problem because people just don't know how to take me, with everything.
Okay, so I can completely I understand and relate to that. Do you feel like men automatically assume that you don't need a man because you're able to provide physically for yourself?
Yeah, I do. I honestly do. I find myself being there because guys feel like I have it all the time. I naturally give because I want to show the guys you don't have to always give to me. I can, we oh, you do something, I do something, but no, like a lot of guys, been interested before. It's always been an issue.
So basically, you feel like people are like, okay, so she's got a business, she's a successful businesswoman. What does she want from me? So let's ask the question. I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot right now, but let's just keep 100. Do you need a man, Katrina?
It's okay. It's not that
I
I
know.
need a want one. I would like of another man. Like I said, I've been single for a very long time, and haven't had that companion. Like going out on dates. Like I want to do all of that. I want to go on trips. You know how you be seen in public with your man, and I want to do things. I want to go to movies. Like I want to do all those traditional date things. But I'm never gonna say that I need. People would never say that they need someone, but I definitely want that companion. To fall asleep on the phone with someone. I love love. I love everything about love. So, hopefully, I'll find that person that I'll be content
So
either
you're
way.
like, so you're
But
basically saying like, I have the whole like, I do need someone, but I don't need someone to live. Like I'm going
right,
to stay alive if this person's not here, but I
yeah,
do need someone. And you're basically saying like, hey, I'm open and available to that, to like a loving experience and an experience where I can give my time. Are you like open to sharing your time as well and making time for someone who's important to you? Great. So like I basically
yeah.
hear you say like I'm open, I'm here, I'm willing to give and compromise. So let's keep it real. Like so what about like in the last year, have you had candidates? Have you had guys who were like interested? What were their reasons for like falling back if that wasn't the case?
I'm never interested. Truthfully, I've had guys who were and were not being truthful, and I don't want to be in a side secret. So I'm not willing to play second best to anyone. So if you're in a position to really fully, commit, now, we can share commitment right off. But I mean,
Right.
if you can't be in this relationship, then I'm not willing to um quiet because friend baby situation living like that's been my way too much to be relationship or in any type of situation, betrayal to another woman. Never want to hurt another woman. So that's been guys who their way.
Okay, so what I hear you saying is like, hey, I'm open and available to new relationships and opportunities. I understand that men might be intimidated by me, but I do still want and need a man. And but I need you to also be honest because I don't want to be put into situations that I didn't sign up for. Is that the gist
Just like
of it? Okay.
right,
Just like what? I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
because they wouldn't like. I wouldn't put them in that predicament. So I would, I wouldn't want them to put me. It is not okay to be dishonest, just to try to get someone. Like, no, that's turn off.
Okay, so let's and I know I'm gonna put you on the spot with this, and so if you participate, I really appreciate it. But can you
Okay.
tell me like the top three things that are like important for you in a significant other who's a candidate? Maybe they're not playing all the way in, but someone that you'd be like, he's caught my eye because he has these three characteristics. Can you tell me what those are?
One, I would need someone to have stability. Two, I love to laugh, love to smile, and again, honesty. Those are the. You don't have to be a 10, but if you have starting with those things, you can work something. We'll work it out.
Okay, so in summary, we have one, which is stability, right? Two was basically a sense of humor and like you'd be fun, right? Fun or funny. And
Yeah.
number three was,
Yes.
and what was number
Honesty.
three? Honesty. So just keep it real.
Honesty.
Keep it 100. So let's talk about that for a moment because guys are like, well, when we're trying to be honest with these women, they blah, 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 blah. And so I'll tell you a little bit about what I think. And if you could share with me what your thoughts on the situation. So my thoughts are, yeah, like it's a great thing that guys are like, okay, well, I feel like I can't be honest with you. And I'm glad that they're being transparent on that. But in the same breath, like, I understand that being honest means that you may not get the girl you want. But my question therein lies, like, why is the only thing that you want to get a girl that you don't actually want? So it's confusing. Like, I understand the thrill of the conquest. As a woman who basically uses that same sort of energy to pursue my goals, I completely understand. But I also keep in mind that there is a human at the other end of this process. And I don't understand why people think that it could possibly be positive karma to use misleading practices to bring somebody on the road to hell. And that's really what I think it is. And I think that these people who want to identify themselves as, oh, I'm a real guy, I'm a real this, need to understand that real doesn't mean misleading someone or presenting something that isn't as it is. If you don't want me, baby, leave me alone. Okay?
Exactly.
Like, I'm perfectly okay with that. Like, but it's more like, okay, I want to like create this conquest. And it's like, why? Because you could be dedicating that time and energy to somebody who has time for the BS. I just don't have it. I just don't have it and I don't want it. And you're going to spend an awful lot of time trying to get me to acclimate to your shenanigans. So why don't we try that on someone who that works on? So a lot of people are like, oh, Crystal, and I imagine you go through it like, oh, you have a need, I don't need a man mentality. No, that's not the case. I don't need a boy mentality, is what I have.
That's it.
That's it. I don't need a boy. Like, and I think that's for someone who's like yourself, you're beautiful, you're accomplished. I can imagine that it could be to some degree intimidating. But I think what people forget at a core is that we are just human. We are entrepreneurs. We have time constraints like other people, but I don't feel like they're exceptional. For example, like if you work 9 to 5 and I work 11 to 7, does it matter? Like I can't text you every minute, but it's not because I don't care about you, and it's not because I'm not involved, but it's because I'm doing something to perpetuate my future and our future if we are a team. And I think that people forget that part. Like when I come into a situation, and I would imagine that you feel the same way, and you're welcome to. I want to hear your viewpoint on this after this. When I go into a situation, right? I'm going into the situation. How do I add value to the situation? Because you know one thing I learned: if I can't add value, no one wants me there. You might
Right.
have me there, but you ain't gonna keep me there because I don't add to your situation. So, in the same breath, do you feel the same way?
I do. I do. Where you have no use. I'm wasting your time. So rather be with someone or be in a situation where equally we're getting something from each other. I don't want
Right.
to always have you pulling on me and vice out. So I definitely like everything you say resonating.
So now you know that this show would not be a full show about relationships if we didn't talk about the bad sides.
Sex. I was gonna say sex is low.
So, what's up with the sex life? Like, is it like, are we still having sex while in the midst of this? Are we like, what's up with the female entrepreneurs? Like, are we just waiting for relationships? Are we having fun in the meantime? What does the value to that happen, and is it affecting our business? Because I believe in transmutation. So give it to me, girl. Give it to me raw. I'm here. Talk to me about it. Give me the scoop.
For me, I love intimacy. I love exploring different, and I just don't do it with, and I haven't had that contact with a man. I really want to be like, so I've been self love where I so my drawer
Okay.
with my
So
back.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here. so so has it been a while?
Has. It's been too long. Put it that way.
Okay. And so obviously being an entrepreneur, I can understand the struggle. So you and I both know that you're freaking gorgeous, right? So like I know it's being tossed at you daily.
Oh
Why
yeah.
aren't you making the jump? Why aren't you crossing the bridge?
I mean, one thing I'm not gonna do is settle anything and anybody because I don't have to. That's one. Two, relationships, people cheated, and just being really dishonest. And I did, um, and I'm not gonna say scared to love again at the stage I'm in now. I want a date to get married, and I don't want, what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be tied down to anyone right now. And that's just where I am right now. That doesn't mean that I'm sleeping with everyone. It just means that I want to keep my options open, and I don't foresee a long-term relationship right now. I do get that 14-year, 17-year relationship. I can't do that to give right now, but who knows?
So are you emotionally available?
I am emotionally available. However, I'm not emotionally available to one person. I just can't. I don't want anyone to get their hopes up high and oh, well, me and Ken, no, because just like it's you, it may be someone else. I'm gonna feel like you're the right person for me, and to do that, I'm gonna have to date more. More. That's how it goes. I don't want to put all my eggs
So you
best
say, so you support rotational dating.
I do.
Okay.
I
So
do.
we have something in common there as well because we're both in the beauty industry. So one of the things that I have been working with clients directly on is rotational dating, and they hate it. Like when I first say it, they're like, "What's ill, gross?" But here's the facts: men have been rotational dating since the dawn of man. Okay, and I think what the problem is that, yeah, I get it. Women are more emotional, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm saying is that ultimately, if I understand what's going on, my emotions can be checked in advance, right? I think the problem with men when they say women are so emotional is because you're not giving us enough information. And when you don't give us enough information, we will inevitably fill that gap with the information that we made up.
Okay.
I'm just being honest. Whatever we figure it is, it is. And that might be a flaw. But in the same breath, it's a survival concept. Like, okay, well, I'm not getting this or that, so therefore it must be this. Because if you don't make yourself crystal clear, you're leaving me room to jump to conclusions. You're like literally, you're giving me the bouncing board, the diving board, if you will, to jump to these conclusions. And so what I learned is to become a lot more rational. But in that development, in becoming more rational, men are saying that, oh, are you more masculine then? Are you becoming? And I'm like, no, 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 no. Wait a minute. So the moment that I reflect what you're giving me,
Right.
that's a problem. But when I am
Right.
saying like, oh my God, I'm so soft and feminine, and oh baby, can you tell me what it is? Like, what are we in? Whatever this, you find that as a sign of weakness. So please, by all means, tell me what level of vulnerability and masculinity and assertiveness is appropriate for the pursuit. And so what I learned was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything. Like, I'm just going to be me, and I am naturally submissive, but I will take the leadership role if I have to. And that's just who I am. And I can't shut that off. And I feel like that's actually a compliment to a person who understands the value of that. That means I'm not gonna just say, "Oh
Right.
my God, my way is the highway," but that if you are unable to make a decision, I can make that decision for us as well.
Right. That's
I don't want
me.
to though. I don't want to. Don't confuse that with want. I know. I don't. I don't
Right.
even want to decide what flavor my coffee is going to be at Starbucks if I didn't have to. But unfortunately, I do. So no one's telling me that I'm just going to drink a toasted vanilla this day. So, what are your
Right.
thoughts on that? Like, do we actually, as boss bees, do we like really want? Do we actually want the full control, or are we looking for someone who has enough strength and backbone to do the decision making? Ooh, it's gonna get hot here.
I want you to decide where we're going to eat. I don't want to where I do that all the time. Like I want a man to take the lead, be a little bit aggressive, but not overly aggressive. But like we're gonna do
Okay,
this tonight.
wait. What is overly aggressive? Can you give me an
Like
example?
rude, mean spirited, that type of thing. But when you are being assertive and you're like, okay, Kat, I'm gonna decide where we're going. We're just gonna go get dressed. I like that type of thing. If you want, we're gonna do it this way. That's gonna make me tell you I don't want to talk to how you talk to me. But to say, listen, I got you, girl. Just go get dressed, and I'm just gonna take you. I'm gonna surprise you. I like that type of thing. Take that initiative. Like we're always, gonna go. We are going that extra mile. Like I want someone to do that for me. I don't want to always say, with managing other people. Like I get tired of doing that. So I really want to make sense for me. Do it for me.
We already doing the boss stuff all day at work. We don't want to come home and have to do it too. I agree. So
There's
let's
certain
talk a
levels.
little bit about that.
there's certain levels where I want to be a boss.
Facts. So, that being said, what do you want a man to bring to the table? This is a crazy question. So on Clubhouse, I'm on the app Clubhouse, and I am consistently being pulled into this room with a table conversation. I'm at the point where I'm like, when a guy's like, what do you bring to the table? A chair. Like, because I need to understand like why we're having this conversation. Because if you haven't learned me enough to understand the value that I bring to the situation, perhaps you should reevaluate your desire to be with me.
Exactly.
Right?
I am the table. Okay. I understand, like, I need you to understand that when you're coming to the table, when you're bringing something to the table, I'm the table. You have the table, you're setting the table where I'm sitting. And any person that means understand that I come with a lot. I have the following, have all the accolades you want to give. I have all that stuff. You can't be easily intimidated, and be able to love I'm like the love that I'm giving you. You have to be able to do the same. I'm a cancer. I love I love hard. For it's not all about money. Um, because I have, but you have something to bring to the table. Like we can work together. You have to bring something to the table. I don't care. I, I'm really.
I think someone's saying that we have some audio issues. Are you having some trouble?
I'm good, man.
Because I can hear you now. But someone did in the audience did say.
Maybe.
Say something else?
Hello.
Yeah, I hear you clearly now. Mm-hmm.
I was by the dishwasher. I think that's probably was a problem.
Oh, it's like running.
That might have been a problem.
Yeah. Oh, but no, this is great. I actually can see your makeup look better and everything. So I love the lighting.
Cool.
So that works. So yeah, so I get what you're saying, and you're just pretty much like kind of reiterating what my kind of assertions were to some degree. I feel like when women say, and this is not to debate you, I'm just saying like I know what we mean when we say we are the table. But I also wonder if that like creates this like wall that goes up when a man hears that. But I also feel that a man who is really looking to see what you bring to the table doesn't need to ask you that.
It's evident.
They can, but usually I feel like I don't feel like that needs to be asked because as you get to be with someone over time or get to know someone, you kind of ascertain what their benefits are of being with them. Um, Not saying that you know all of the negatives, right? Because you and I both know that no one's perfect. But at minimum, you kind of get a vibe for like what this person is coming into the situation with.
Right.
So there's that. Um, I feel like as entrepreneurs, though, I do feel like, and you can, if you don't have this situation, please let me know. What are your thoughts about the guys who are like looking to benefit from being in your situation? If you know what I mean, like they're looking to come into the situation not to add but to subtract. Let's talk about that for a moment.
So much. Like weeding them out is so I do here there's called the 420 Unity Festival where we've had Rick Ross.
The what?
It's called the 420th Unity Festival. And I was a part of the team, Ross, City Girls, like a lot of famous individuals. And that I was a part of the team. access to certain people state, it was more flooded, people were more interested. Whereas before, yeah, I was getting messages and things, but then they saw shows and the gifts and all, like I started to see more messages out or wanting to get on or wanting me to put them on because of who I knew. So you just want to, or you want to talk to me just so I out. I have records, comp call, so you don't want to have a buffer between you getting what you want and you know, it's different. And I'm helping you to you with your business, but not to use me to help you further. Have nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
Weird.
because it's so disingenuous, right? Like, and I
Right.
feel like they're silly for even thinking we don't notice it's going on. Now, I'm not gonna lie, like, there has been situations in my past where I was not aware of what was actually happening. And a lot of people are like, oh, you were so naive. And it's like, it's not that I was naive. It's that I was trying to be like, I felt like I was trustworthy. And so therefore I had trust. And so many people are like talking about how like, oh, you go into the situation, assume that it's gonna be like the last, and you're making this person pay for that person's mistake. And so I didn't want to be that person, right? So like I went into the situation or what have you. But I do call, so I call them, we'll leave that alone. But I generally call those guys number sixes. And so number sixes, because there's like a scale for me for 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And number sixes can't be on a level because there's only level 1 through 5 because we already know that your soul situation is to really subtract and not to add. And I want to make sure that I'm clear for my audience who may choose to judge me. Not that I particularly care about the judgment, but so that I'm very specific. I do not think that there's a problem with people having equitable exchange of whatever, deciding that this is what I'm going to be, this is what I'm going to do, whatever. But what I'm talking about are people who perpetrate a fraud, who basically say that they are and they do, and they're willing to do and they are what they aren't, or are only into getting into a situation for the sole purposes of extracting anything and everything that they can from me, both emotionally and physically, because they don't actually care about me, but more how I benefit their situation. That's what I'm talking about. I like to say that fair exchange is no rivalry. So if you have a agreement or a situation with somebody that works for you, I don't think when the whole gold digger hype, I don't care. If the guy who has gold to give away and that's what he wants to do, then he's not being dug, he's being gave. Like he's giving it out. Okay? What I think is the problem is when someone goes into something with malicious intent or is deceptive in what their real motives are. That I do not support. Okay?
No,
And I feel like as females,
absolutely.
as women, entrepreneurs, I feel that we are a sitting target for those who feel like, oh, well, she's already got it together, so I don't really got to do much. I can just come in here and slide into the situation. Absolutely not. That is not going down. I am still a woman. I still want to be protected. So let's talk about the 4 Ps. You want to talk about the 4 Ps?
Sure, let's do it.
And tell me if you agree with me. If you don't agree with me, I am not rigid. So even though this is my show, if you don't agree with me, I want you to be honest and just keep it real with me, okay? So
Okay.
I believe that men should provide the 4 Ps, like men that I'm interested in anyway. And I believe that women should be looking for the 4 Ps. Men are like, oh, what do women want? They want the 4 Ps. What in the world are the 4 Ps? The 4 Ps are protection.
Oh yeah.
Okay. If you cannot protect me, I will have a trouble trusting you. Protection does not mean that I just need you to fight someone who's trying to hurt me. Protection could mean using your intellect to get us and extract us out of a dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm.
Protection could be mean physically having a backup plan for when situations are not ideal. Protection can mean making sure that I am safe and sound and have the mind space to do what it is that I actually do.
Mm-hmm.
That is protection. Okay. They want protection. So that's the first P. I think that women also want provision, right? We want to be provided for, right?
Yeah.
Because and I, I'm a curvy babe, so I eat. I need food. So we would like provision. Provide for me because in that provision, I trust you. I trust you to take care of me. I trust you to sustain me, right? And I trust you to provide protection by way of provision. Provision is protection. If you're providing someone, you're protecting them from the elements, you're protecting them from disease, you're protecting them from hunger and famine. I mean, I can go on.
Right.
Now, I want to make sure that I clarify this because I'm sure that I will have people who will come in the comments and be like, oh, what is she protecting? Your mentality, baby. A lot of different things. But we can go on for your resources by, coming up and complementing with ways to expand and expound on what you are providing. We are multipliers by nature and we multiply what is provided unto us. So as I will continue, provision. Number 3, which is like something I don't think women generally consider, nor men, but preservation. Preserve. Okay? You are preserving the integrity of this marriage or this relationship by remaining a faithful person, by keeping my attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
By keeping things together, by making sure that we are as a whole sustainable, right? You're preserving what we've created. Preservation could also mean life insurance. We're
Right.
building a life that requires insurance, right? We're building a life where I have no legal recourse to anything you've given to me or given to my children or to the situation. So you can preserve me by what? Proclaiming me, the 4th P.
Yes.
Proclamation, right? I want this.
Yeah.
You are my wife. You are my woman. You are my fiance. You are my girlfriend. I want you and I am claiming you and I am giving you a title and I am putting this out there because I want to what? Preserve what I have produced, right? I'm
Right.
going to preserve what am I preaching to the choir today? I want to
I'm like,
preserve what I
there needs to be on
produce.
the
Like I am producing this, right? I'm going out to the work as a man. These are the fruits. Don't we say the fruits of my labor? These are the fruits of my labor.
Yeah.
And so therefore I am producing this for you. And you as my wife, as my partner, are also producing, right? By way of children, by way of commodity, by way of food, by way of support. So everything that we have and produce in order to preserve, I must proclaim. Right? Because if I don't proclaim, am I truly protecting if I do not proclaim? Because a woman that is not claimed will generally not understand her position. It is confusing. A woman that you treat physically as your wife but do not protect legally, you have not proclaimed.
0. Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I mean? If you are creating any doubts in my mind that someone else needs to be in the situation, can or will be in the situation, you have not proclaimed.
Mm-hmm.
There should be 0 doubt. Because 0 doubt creates what? Security and trust. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, a guy can claim you as your girl and cheat on you. but then he would be breaking the first rule, which is protection. And he would also be breaking the third rule, which is the third rule, which is preservation. So notice what I said, that a man should provide all of the four P's, not two of the four P's, all of the four P's. And if a man provides all of the four P's, he will then and find him a good thing.
He will find him a me. Okay.
Right, because you can't. So cheating is not even an option when you're trying to preserve. Cheating is not even an option when you're trying to proclaim, preserve, and protect. Because a man who loves me and honors me and trusts me is never going to put me in a situation where I can even question my position in his life. Nor would he put me in a situation where another woman who is not a participant in our situation could even come and challenge what he has produced.
That.
And the moment that you allow someone from exile side our situation to jeopardize what you produced, you are then by definition not protecting. And so there I say that a real man protects, provides, preserves, and proclaims. And if you are not able and willing to do that, then I suggest you get off my accounts, my DMs. Don't text me. Like, wait, I don't want that. I've had that. I've had outside of that. And that is no longer where I reside. Like it just isn't what I reside. And people are like, oh, aren't you afraid to be alone and be a cat lady? Actually, I don't particularly care for cats, so I'll probably be a dog lady, if anything. And no, because I will like do beauty stuff, and I will surround myself with beautiful, intelligent women, and I will seek my, what do you call it, needs from all sorts of resources because I am resourceful, which makes me a valuable mate. So I don't really like. It's not even a time frame for me. However, whenever if there does develop a time frame where I'm like, okay, well, I don't want you anymore. To whom's fault is that, right? So yeah, and I think that every woman is capable of having it. I think if you're a plus size woman like myself, you can have it. I think if you're a fair skinned woman, you can have it. I think if you're a dark skinned woman, you can have it. I think if you're not intelligent, you can have it. I think if you are intelligent, you can have it. Because there is somebody for everybody. Okay. And provision doesn't have an income bracket. And I think that's what a lot of women got messed up.
Yep.
If you don't live a Louis Vuitton lifestyle, honey, you don't need a 6-figure earner. I'm just keeping it. No, I'm just being honest. Like, right? Like, if you're a Reebok broad, you don't need that right now. You can use the income that's being provided. You can maximize your resources, invest in some things, right? Use a little bit of money into the stocks, whatever. Insurance is the cheapest way to protect you and your family. Lord God, I say this every day. Like, use some insurance, protect everything. Some of you out here renting apartments, beautiful apartment. Oh, I got an island. Do you have insurance? No. Okay, I don't want to hear about your island.
Right.
Oh my God, there's a community pool. Do you have insurance for someone to die in that community pool? Like, because if you don't, I don't want to hear about your pool. Oh, I have this, I have that. No. Do you have insurance? Oh, I drive a Benz. Do you have the maximum coverage? Do you have the accidental death coverage? Do you have the funeral benefit? Do you have the benefit for the tow? I don't care if you have AAA. That's not my question. Do you have the rental insurance parts? Insurance is the cheapest way to guarantee a lack of resources freaking ever. And if you can't afford that, then in my opinion, at that point, you're broke. And you need to change your situation. No, that's broke to me. Broke to me isn't how much I make per month. Broke to me is I can't protect anything I created. At all.
Right. Absolutely.
I live in an apartment. I don't have apartment insurance. That's broke. That thing costs $30 a year. You understand what I'm saying? Your house burns down. Where are you getting all this money from to produce, to recreate what you've created? This goes back to my protection and proclamation and all those things. Like, I'm not speaking from nowhere here. This is not entertainment. This is real life. If you're not protecting your resources, if you're not protecting what you produce, if you're not protecting your, and by produce, I do also mean your children. So if you're not protecting what you produce, you aren't doing anything. So don't brag. Don't come out here saying this or that. And here's the one thing that people say to me that like baffles my mind. I can't afford insurance. No, you cannot afford to not have insurance, because the day that something happens, which unfortunately in a lifetime inevitably occurs, you will not be able to save yourself from that situation.
Absolutely right.
Period. I insure everybody.
Yep.
I insure everything.
I
have insurance on my insurance, because it is the one thing, like, calamity, damage, tragedy happens, and being adequately insured in that situation creates that. So I don't feel like, oh, my guy has to be a six-figure earner is the idea for all women. I think what women need to look at is, here's my situation, here's what safety looks like to me, and this is what I want, and shoot for that. But it doesn't have to be a dollar amount. It needs to be a mindset. A mindset. It's a money mindset. You know. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll be transparent. Katrina, I've had situations where even in the midst of my entrepreneurship, I've been down to bottom dollar. Like, it's a lie. It's a facade. If you think that there's never a low, like, I'm sorry. If that's what you think, I'm gonna tell you right now, no cap. It's not that. That's not how it happens. I had a situation that occurred where I honestly felt I was never going to get out of it.
Right.
But guess why I was able to come through it? Because I had put things in place to provide the protection and provisions to do so. If you can't get insurance, insure yourself. That is really at the end of the day. And as women such as you and I, we're not asking for perfection, I think. Would you agree?
I'm not.
I'm definitely not. Asking for trust, right? You want to trust the guy?
Yeah, definitely.
And you want to feel like if all of this burns in a hell in a handbasket, will you be able to take care of me? Right?
Absolutely.
Because I feel like as women, we're always the ones who are like, oh, I'll take care of you. You know? Think about it. If you look at the statistics, women who are diagnosed with like cancer or terminal illness are the highest women who are getting divorced. And they're not the ones choosing to. That should just tell you that naturally we're nurturers. And and I think it's great. I think that being a boss, though, puts us in a different place where we know that and we understand and value. I think we value it more, don't you think? Because I'm like, oh my God, what thing I have to use, what thing I have to go to, what's my schedule like, where I gotta do this, what are they gonna wear, what's the uniforms gonna be like, what's my marketing campaign for next month, what blah, 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 blah. And then I get this. What do you want to eat? Where do you eat? I don't know. I like Italian and French.
Pick something. Those are your options.
I'm gonna show up. So
and you decide everything.
But since we said that, what's your favorite restaurant in Virginia? Since we're talking about it, can you share?
I don't have a favorite restaurant in Virginia. I actually have a lot of. So I would much rather not go to a restaurant and have something privately for me. So I don't really go to a lot of restaurants.
So now, does he have to cook it, or can he order it in?
He have to cook it. He can order in. But I just, I prefer to not always go. They don't always have the healthiest options. And as a plus size girl, you know, we kind of have to watch what we're eating sometimes. But I just prefer like lately I'm either eating or get someone to prepare it for me. If I do go out, it's really cool. But I wouldn't say I have a favorite restaurant. I can't think of anything now. My friend does own a business. It's called Truth Portsmouth, and she actually has
What's it
some
called?
really, really good Truth Lounge.
Truth Lounge.
Yes.
Okay,
I
and can you just
had
give us a shout out? Where's Truth Lounge? Truth Lounge is located in
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth,
Portsmouth.
Virginia.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. So make sure that when you get off of this, that we go ahead and put the link to her business in the comments. So I want to let you know that one of the things for the show is to make sure that I support and promote the people who are on here. We are professionals and we are business owners. Dating out here is crazy, I feel, as a whole, and even crazier for those who are high producers or high earners. And I want to also help support that because you are dedicating and investing your time here in being on my show, and I would like to be able to give back to you by also exposing my audience to the beauty that you can create um, with your businesses. So make sure that when the close of this happens, it is 11:05. So we're coming to the close of the show. That you come back to the post to leave your direct links and anything like that, because I really do want to help support the businesses, because obviously the more support that we get, the closer we are to making history and creating generational wealth, which is also something that's really dear to my heart. And the show today is also about dating in the business, and when you're in business or when you're an entrepreneur. So my dear Katrina Freeman is a single, beautiful woman located in Virginia. She is gonna kill me for saying this, but it is what it is. She's located in Virginia and she is available, gentlemen. So if you have an eye for beauty and for somebody who is open and willing to have you cook an excellent dinner or order in a meal to get this party started, then you know where to contact her. If you're shy and you need me to be your wingman, I will. Just go ahead and DM me and I will introduce you to through Messenger. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and lead with Katrina, leaving some information on how to reach her, how to contact her, and then I'll go ahead and close out the show. Thank you so much, my beautiful audience, for stopping in. Please know that you can support this show by leaving me stars. Katrina, tell us how we can get in contact with you when you're not on Crystal Carmen Live.
Thank you everyone for watching. You can follow me on FF Model or on Facebook at Katrina or Katrina Nonprofit. Keep VA Warm at Keep VA Warm on Facebook. So you can get me at also on Snap and Twitter, but I don't really use those. So just hit me up on Facebook.
And how can we book an appointment with you for your beautiful makeup?
Well, actually, I'm not a makeup artist. I'm a brand ambassador. So my makeup artist is Tad, but interested in her services. She's on Facebook under Dollhouse of Glam. Just go inbox. You can book any service that you want. She does everything from weddings to like very outlandish things. Like she does my hair as well. So I kind of match my hair to moods. So she does it all. So yeah, tap into her as well.
Awesome. So she's great with the classic and traditional looks, as well as with signature looks and more commercial looks and editorial looks.
Right.
So make sure that you follow Dollhouse of Glam, which is the person who I was responsible for your beautiful makeup today. And I want to thank you so much. I know you're a busy woman. I see you all the time on Facebook, whether, posting things about going on TV and being featured all over the world. It is such an honor to have you here on the show with me today. And I hope to have you again soon. Hopefully you make a match made in heaven and you can come back and tell us about it. I don't know if you know this, Katrina, but on Tuesdays, which would be tomorrow, I actually am taking live questions about dating, femininity, how to handle situations, both anonymously and unanonymously, onto the show also at 10 p.m. So if you have any questions, you can shoot me a DM. I will address them on my show tomorrow at 10. If you're willing to come up, you can definitely come up, whether with video or not with video. And we will talk about any key concerns. Anybody who's dating you right now, someone who's in your DM who you don't know how to respond to or know how to take. Because I have actually been responsible for 4 successful relationships by way of my femininity coaching. So that's something that's different. I know, like the beauty girls doing that, but I've had some successful situations. And even if you don't have anything that relates to it, it might be interesting to go ahead and tune in for me. And don't forget to share this video so people can see you as well. Thanks so much for being on with me, lovely. If you have anything else to say to the audience, please go ahead and do so. This is your time.
Thank you all for watching. Please support. This is a great opportunity. You all make sure make sure you're watching tomorrow because I'll definitely be tuned in and come check me out.
All right. Well, guys, for those of you who may not know, my name is Crystal Carmen. You're watching Crystal Carmen Live, where I talk about beauty, love, life, and relationships because that's what makes the world go round. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Tune in tomorrow at 10 for femininity advice.